Wisma PB Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju. Kami keluarga besar Yasma PP Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan perbedaan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Kami keluarga besar Yasma PP Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan perbedaan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Kami keluarga besar Yasma PP Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan perbedaan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Kami keluarga besar Yasma PP Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan PB Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan perbedaan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Kami keluarga besar Yasma PB Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan perbedaan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and good morning everyone.
Hi, I'm Aska.
And I am Radin, your master of the ceremony this morning.
On behalf of the committee, we would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you to the English competition.
Raise your voice, feel the English. First and foremost, let's thank Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us the mercy and blessing so we can attend this event.
An excellent afternoon to the principal of Panglima Besar Sudirman Islamic High School, Mr. Agus Rianta, Master of Education, the judges, and all the respectable participants in the English competition.
On this special occasion, there will be 3 competitions held as the closing of EDP program that has run from October 2021 to March 2022. The competition in this event are as follows: Pangsut Talk Speech Contest, Pangsut Voice Social Media Caption, Quick and Smart Competition.
Now, without further ado, let's proceed to our first agenda. Listening to the national anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya, and Mars Sudirman. To all the participants, please listen attentively.
Sudirman, siap mengabdikan diri untuk bangsa dan negara. Silaturahmi kami jaga, tugas-tugas kami tunaikan, prestasi kami perjuangkan, doa selalu kami panjatkan. Maju, maju, maju serentak demi hari depan yang cerah. Tegakkan persatuan, tinggalkan perpecahan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan. Tegakkan persatuan, hilangkan perbedaan, damai dan sejahtera kami dambakan.
Now, allow us to invite the Principal of Panglima Besar Sudirman, Mr. Agus Rianta, Master of Education, to deliver his opening speech. Mr. Rianta, you have the floor, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, innal hamdalillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh, wa na'udzu billahi min sururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa may yudlil fala hadiyalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu la nabiyya ba'dah. Amma ba'du, kepada yang saya hormati segenap pimpinan di Yayasan Masjid Panglima Besar Sudirman, perwakilan Bekasi maupun Yayasan Masjid Panglima Besar Sudirman Pusat, segenap rekan-rekan wakil yang saya hormati, dan kepada Bapak Ibu Guru, pembina yang saya hormati, dan anak-anakku sekalian yang saya banggakan. Alhamdulillah, kita bersyukur pada Allah SWT pada kesempatan pada tanggal 26 Maret 2022 ini senantiasa kita dapat berkumpul di tempat ini dalam rangka kita menyelenggarakan yaitu closing ceremony kegiatan English Development Program untuk tahun pelajaran 2021-2022. Selanjutnya saya atas nama pimpinan sekolah, pertama saya memberikan apresiasi terhadap bidang kurikulum yang telah memberikan pelayanan prima untuk kelas sains dan kelas entrepreneur dalam program EDP yang saat sekarang ini adalah merupakan program unggulan, ya, program unggulan kelas 10 sains dan kelas 10 entrepreneur SMA Islam PB Sudirman 1 Bekasi yang saat sekarang ini berkolaborasi dengan Prodi Bahasa Inggris UHAMKA. Oleh karena itu saya juga salam hormat, terima kasih pada Prodi Bahasa Inggris UHAMKA yang telah bersama-sama mencerdaskan anak bangsa di SMA Islam Sudirman 1 Bekasi ini. Dengan harapan program EDP ini akan bisa memberikan aktualisasi kemampuan berbahasa Inggris di program yang saat sekarang ini berkolaborasi antara UHAMKA dengan SMA Islam Sudirman 1 Bekasi. Dengan harapan akhirnya nanti dapat menumbuhkan sebuah kepercayaan diri yang lebih dalam berbicara bahasa Inggris. Oleh karena itu saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua yang terlibat dalam program IDP ini. Mudah-mudahan program ini akan memberikan jembatan emas untuk anak-anak sains dan entrepreneur kelas 10 dalam rangka meneruskan kesuksesan berikutnya. Saudara-saudaraku, para pemirsa dan anak-anakku sekalian yang saya hormati, bahwa apa sih tujuan daripada SMA menyelenggarakan program IDP ini? Yang pertama, bahwa kami ingin sekali membantu meningkatkan kemampuan berbahasa Inggris, yaitu para siswa di program sains dan entrepreneur ini akan lebih cepat, dan juga membuat pengucapan bahasa Inggrisnya itu lebih tepat dan akurat. Itu yang pertama. Lalu yang kedua, tujuan kami menyelenggarakan ini adalah kami senantiasa untuk menyiapkan peserta didik dalam rangka memahami materi-materi pelajaran berbahasa Inggris. Yang ketiga, tujuan kami adalah untuk menyiapkan generasi bangsa yang nanti akhirnya mampu bersaing dalam kancah internasional, khususnya untuk alumni-alumni Pangsut ini. Dan yang berikutnya, tujuan kami adalah agar apa? Peserta didik itu nantinya akan dapat menyalurkan ide dan gagasan dalam media tulisan, baik itu penulisan kreatif hingga esainya. Ini adalah harapan-harapan kami. Nah, mudah-mudahan pelaksanaan yang kurang lebih sekitar 16 kali pertemuan ini akan memberikan pembekalan pada anak-anak entrepreneur maupun anak-anak sains dalam pemahaman bahasa Inggris. Oleh karena itu, saya ucapkan selamat kepada anak-anakku semua. Mudah-mudahan 16 kali pertemuan kolaborasi Prodi Bahasa Inggris dengan Bahasa Inggris UHAMKA dengan Sudirman ini senantiasa akan membekali kalian untuk belajar bahasa Inggris lebih baik lagi. Oleh karena itu, dalam closing ceremony ini juga akan diadakan berbagai macam lomba. Selamat Anda mengikuti lomba-lomba itu, dan tadi sudah dilaksanakan perlombaan-perlombaan itu. Mudah-mudahan keberhasilan itu akan menjadi motivasi kalian untuk belajar bahasa Inggris lebih baik lagi. Akhirnya, dengan mengucapkan Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin, pelaksanaan program English Development Program pada tahun pelajaran 2001-2022 saya nyatakan ditutup secara resmi. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Terima kasih. Teruslah berkarya anak-anakku, karena bicara anak muda berarti bicara masa depan bangsa ini. Selamat berkarya. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Yanta, for the speech.
Now, as we all know, the English Development Program has been running for the total of 6 months. So we sure have a lot of fun experiences, and we have gained a lot of knowledge, especially in speaking and writing. Wouldn't you like to know? Here's a little snippets of our program here in Pangsut.
Maybe you see things like beautiful, skinny,
we have finally arrived on the first event, speech contest. As a start, now I would like you to invite our honorable judges to take their seats. First, let me introduce to all of you the judges for today's competition. The first judge is Miss Farah Andina, and the second judge is Miss Denita Ramadania.
Let me read you the competition rules. Number 1. The topic of this speech competition is education. Number 2. Participants are individuals, not groups. Number 3. All students are required to submit creation based on factual data. Number 4. Speech contest participants are allowed to bring their speech scripts when they perform. Number 5. The speech must be in English. Number 6. The maximum speech duration is 8 minutes. Number 7. Assessments done by jury panels is absolute and cannot be contested. And number 8. Participants are asked not to leave the location until the event is finished.
Now, let us begin the first contestant, Fatia Nayara from science class with her speech entitled, What Grades Truly Means.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Fatia Nayara Sandi and I'm a student of Panglima Besar Sudirman High School. So, I'm sure you are all familiar with this quote. A quote by Albert Einstein in his era, yet still relevant to this period, when things have developed extensively. No, all humans are not created equal. Some people are simply better than the others. Some people are smarter, while others have decent intelligence. Some people are stronger, while some are weaker. That's just how it is, and that is okay. We complete each other. I once asked a friend of mine, what major would she choose? She answered, yeah, I love physics, but I suck at it, so I'll be taking social instead. Hearing that, naturally I said, why do you think you suck at it? And she shrugged. My score didn't reach the minimum. At first, I thought, fair enough. But then I realized, whether you suck at a subject or not, shouldn't the point of school be about fostering our interest and becoming better at something? So why does getting a bad mark limit our learning? Unfortunately, the reality for many students is they don't take certain classes for fear it would bring down their academic average. And this is a big deal when students compromise their own learning just to get their numbers on their report cards. The answer is, we are in an education system that says if you don't go to college, you have no worth. It doesn't matter if a student is a gifted artist, loving caretaker, a talented musician, or a poetic writer. Those students are the fish being judged on how they climb trees, because we say the end all be all is college, or we are leaving students to the lowest skill level work. Even in the honors and superior classes, Students are so wrapped up about grades, and so they are afraid to learn. And that's impacting how they are performing at college. We, as young people, are taught to memorize information from a textbook only to throw it into next week's text before forgetting all about it. Researchers at the College of William and Mary showed that creativity among students is on the decline. An increased number of students merely learned a minimum just to get the desired grade. We would ask, hey, what's on the exam so we can study just that? And if something is not for the max or not on a task, then we are reluctant to do the work assigned. Now, is this because students are lazy? Why do we seem so obsessed with scores? Well, it's because a number means so much to us nowadays, because we feel like those numbers determine our futures. So we value getting a good mark as more important than learning itself. But what other choices do we have? It's not like we have a say in all of this. We are told day after day that education is the key to a successful life, and that we need good marks in order to have a respectable job and a good income. Sure, some people tell us that the marks don't define us and that we are more than just so. Great, but it never feels that way. Many institutions and learning programs solely look at the marks on a transcript, making students feel like their future is determined by that simple piece of paper. So even though some students might be passionate about their learning or have an inventive mind, if they underperform on those exams, then these organizations will refuse to consider them. Innovation will stop if this current ideology of education is followed, because we kill our students' creativity, curiosity, and desire to learn. The education system makes it easy for them to just do what they told. By high school, most of us students will stop asking questions and we will roll our eyes at a few hoodoos. And in the midst of all of this, we have developed another problem. We somehow adopted this false perspective that those who have good marks must be better and smarter than those who do not. No, those that have trouble following one way of learning have to face a stigma, because in our society, students with lower grades are considered as less intelligent, and this lowers their self-esteem. But oftentimes, it just means they might learn differently and they are smart in their own way. Or they could be going through a personal issue that consequently affects their marks. We shouldn't be so quick to judge them. Our testing culture began in elementary school. From one final computer-based task, the future path of student is set. An academic identity is established, and a message is delivered loud and clear. Either you can or can't do it. And no matter what the teacher tells the student about how good they are or what talents they have, if we don't score well on that high-stakes test, we know exactly what it means and begin to define ourselves. And it's starting to happen now in kindergarten. So, we continue this barrage of standardized tests, and the students continue failing, and the districts have to continue the next initiatives that can solve the problems. We pay no attention to non-cognitive factors like personal habits and personal values that are the realistic measures and predictors of student achievements. We pay no attention to the student's state, like a student that can't focus because she hasn't eaten since yesterday's lunch, or a student that can't stay awake in class because she has something important that came up the night before and so they couldn't sleep. We are more focused on the result, and so forget to regard the student's physical and mental health. We are simply creating a massive population of future citizens who are afraid to attempt anything challenging, unable to read or think critically, or unable to find a way to earn a meaningful income. It frustrates me when students with higher grades think that they are better than others because they have better marks, or when teachers view some of their students as less capable just because of their performance at school. Sure, some people might not naturally talented at subjects such as algebra, but does that honestly mean that they are less smart? And why can't we also see that mental illnesses, bullying, financial security, family issues, and other factors do limit some people's ability to do well at school? No. Does that mean that they don't have the potential to succeed? Of course not. The truth of education policy is that it is written and enforced by people who have spent either little or no time in the classroom with the students there. These very policies are effective. Take a look at the makeup of any boards of education, including local school boards and secretaries of education. Why not involve the individuals in direct contact with the students to help mold and shape the environment of the students? Why not train and allow the teachers to develop their own assessment system that can better fit their students' needs? Why not encourage teachers to collaborate with one another, or at least have a peer review system like in other professions? Why not involve teachers in the policy making decisions at the school level, the district level, the state level, the national level? Education is the only industry that is developing a product without any valid market research from its end users. Students aren't asked what they want or need. Teachers in the school aren't asked what would work for their students. The problem in our education system right now is that we have one system and expect every student to follow it. We know that students have different needs, strengths, and patience. No brains are the same. Think about it like this. If a doctor was to prescribe the same medicine to all of his patients, there would surely be a disaster. But that's what happened in school. We are given the same treatment even though we have different issues. I'm not saying that grading is useless and it's all the teacher's fault, because teachers are actually stuck in the same system that was imposed on them, just like the student is. And we can't just blame the policymakers of education either, because it's not like there's an obvious way to do this. We can't just overturn the current system completely and say, oh, let's just negate this grading system and consider every student individually, because that's just not realistic, or at least not yet. However, until we do improve the way we educate our future generation, there is something you can do to help reinstill students' desires to go to school, and that is to change our perspective on what grades really mean, and to realize that the numbers do not define their intelligence or potential. Looking back on history, we can easily find people who, despite not being at top of their class, they have brilliant minds. Think of Sir Isaac Newton, who received horrible grades in high school. Think of Albert Einstein, who also received mediocre grades. Think about Thomas Edison, who was called mentally ill by his teachers, but he is now known as a person who lights our lives, literally. So, if we want to realize the potential of our society, we need to shift the focus away from academic performance alone. Instead of encouraging the desire to learn, school shouldn't just focus on the grade that we receive. We need to be taught how to think, how to learn, and how to innovate, not how to take tasks. It shouldn't be about the comparative achievement, but rather the long-term progress of the students. Why not stop judging the fish on how they climb trees? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fatia, for your speech. That was a great speech. And your topic is interesting and also it's clear. But I think you need to add the transition word because it makes the audience, confused. Your closing and your body and your opening, so you have to add the transition words. And then you need to feel your speech. So don't keep looking at your text. So you have to feel the stage as well. Thank you, Fatia.
Okay, so from me, thank you, Fatia. That was very insightful. And I only have a couple of notes. First is body language, because I noticed that you don't move your hand a lot and you stand still. So maybe in the future you could try to to ease up a little and to actually own the stage, because I think you're very good, even though there are mispronunciation of some words here and there, but I think that's because of that has something to do with nervousness, I guess. So that's okay, and I like that you are very confident, and that your speech really relate to the theme that we are having today. So there's always room for improvements, and I'm looking forward to more of your speeches in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatia, for the amazing performance. Next, I would like to call upon the second contestant for a speech contest today, Arsanti Zahra from science class, with her speech entitled Indonesian Education System.
Education is not just going to school and getting a degree, but it also a matter of expanding knowledge and absorbing life sciences. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, good morning to one and all present that attend offline and online. Nice to meet you. I am Arsanti Zahra Madani from X1 Panglima Besar Sudirman High School. First of all, I would like to say thank you for this opportunity because it's a great honor for me to stand here. Today, I'm gonna tell you about education. What do you think about education in Indonesia? We know that education is a very important thing in our life. A country without a well-structured education system is doomed, because education is the key to any form of development in a country. Educational is essential to development. It opens doors to all and helps people to lift themselves out of poverty. It empowers people and is a powerful equalizer. The best and only way to produce qualified human resources is the provision of a flawless education system. Lately, almost all countries in the world are facing through COVID-19 virus, and there are many impacts caused by this virus. One of the impacts of this virus is COVID-19. At the first, I'm sure that you guys got a piece of news from your teacher that school is going to do from home for about 2 weeks. And then it ended with more than 2 years until now. In this situation, we cannot learn from school. We just learn through our phone from home. And I think it's not effective for us. There's a lot of students that just sleep or play game during the class. Other than that, if the teacher teaches online, we need time to write the school materials outside of class hours. And from it, we need more time to study so that it reduces our play and rest time. So in the morning class, we can feel tired or bored during the class. It feels very different if we study from school like before. On the school, we write the school material at that time. There's a lot of disruption too if we learn from home. Like if you make a video for a school task, and there's a song from your brother or sister and many things. As we learn anything from home in this situation, there are a lot of parts that we need to pay attention. like an internet. According to Singaporean think tank Asiasi Yusof Ishak Institute, there are only around 40% of Indonesians that have internet access. Most of them in the urban areas such as the capital city of Jakarta. There are a lot of parts in Indonesia that cannot access the internet properly, and it can affect the Indonesian system. Other than internet, what do you think about Indonesian education system? Is there something wrong about it? According to Singaporean Asiasi Yusof Ishak Institute, on average, school quality in Indonesia is low compared to its neighbors and other comparable countries. The skills gap between Indonesia and its neighbor is staggering. Most education interventions do not have large enough effects to bring Indonesia to parity. A faulty education system can affect students and the future of the country, because in the future, human resources will be repressed. It is impossible if a country led by the same person for years. Surely that leader will be replaced by a new person. Education is the source of all sources of the progress of nation, because through the education, the quality of a nation's human resources can be improved. Human resources are the main assets in building a development nation. And from it, I think that we have to push for a better education system with the support of school, teachers, government, and city. We have to work together to improve the quality of education so it can be better than before. Because without any support from all, it means nothing. If all children in Indonesia get qualified education, Indonesia will have qualified human resources who are ready to build the nations. Of course, they don't only master knowledge, science, and technology, but also have the steadiness of faith. Remember that the education is means of achieving a world of peace, justice, freedom, and equality for all. Thus, education is extremely necessary for all. Not good life is possible without education. That's all my speech today. I hope it can be useful for you guys. I do apologize for my mistake during the speech. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much, Arsanti. That was a very interesting topic. And I really, really like how you start with an attention getter because you did get our attention. However, I think this is just a recommendation. Maybe in the future you could try to write less on your speech, on your, text when you go into giving speeches, because after you get our attention, it's kind of hard to stay because you keep on looking on your text. And I'm so sorry, but I'm sure this has got something to do with the short preparation time, and I'm sure you could do better in the future. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, Arsanti, that was a great presentation, and I think your topic is really interesting because it's relate to the condition that we're struggling right now. But you miss some pronunciation. I think you have to pay attention with that, and then pay attention for your structure of your speech, so we can, as the audience, can get the point by point of your speech. Okay, thank you, Arsanti.
And our third contestant for today is Aska Sabita from science class with her speech entitled Literature in Learning.
The famous author, Ernest Hemingway, once said, "There is no friend as loyal as a book." Books are like our fellow friends, our companions, but without the complaints and without the demands. They improve our knowledge, wisdom, education, thus helping us in creating the right decisions in our lives. Hi, I'm Aska Sabita Iskandar from 10-1 Science class, and I'm a bookworm. I love to read, and recently I've been getting back into my reading grooves. I've been reading a lot more novels, a lot more short stories and poem collections, and I've been taking away lessons and life values from the book that I've read. See, reading and education are two topics that closely connects and correlates with each other. We associate education and learning with reading. And as the proverb says, books are the windows to the world. By reading books, we get to learn, we get to gain new knowledge, we get to know things that we can apply in our everyday lives. Books can inspire us to change our view about the world and to broaden our understanding. Now, textbooks, they're important, and I agree. It is the base of education and the things that we learn at school. It helps us grow professionally, to gain important proven knowledge like math, science, biology, chemistry. They help us develop our career. And if we excel at those subjects, you will earn the label of being smart or being successful. And that is true. But textbooks aren't the only thing that we can learn from. The impact of textbooks in our educational life is big, but the importance of novels, poems, and other literature pieces, their impact is just as massive. There is no doubt that both books will provide you with the knowledge and they will help you to guide ourselves throughout our lives. While textbooks, they give you authentic proven knowledge that we use at school, but novels will help you to gain the knowledge of social life and how to handle social interactions. Textbooks often talks about real things, proven theories, while novels, on the other hand, they contain wild, free, and fantastical imagination. See, I think that there is something undeniably special about reading novels specifically. Good novel writing can move you, can touch your heart, can make you feel things as you turn your pages. Sadness, happiness, anger. It can make you laugh, it can make you cry, and it can make you laugh while crying. And underneath those amazing plots, storylines, characters, lies the life lessons and values that we as readers can take in and use in our lives. Let's take a look at some examples, shall we? Harry Potter, one of my favorite books, the first book that I read that I fell in love with. One of the most, if not the most famous book series of all time, written by J.K. Rowling. What can we take away from this story? See, Harry He never gives up. He always works hard. He has endured so much in his life, and he always persevered through all of it. He showed us that you can push through even in the hardest of times, bounce back, and succeed. The next example is also from one of my favorite books, Pride and Prejudice, a classic English literature piece written by Jane Austen and was first published in 1813, more than 2 centuries ago. Personally, I think that this is a very insightful book. It contains a lot of life lessons that you can learn from. The book was set in the early 1800s and shows us what life would be like back then, and shows the difference with what we live in today. The social values we can find in this book, like honesty, human dignity, human rights, social equality, social class, religion, responsibility, and humanity. How about you? Do you have a favorite book too? What can you learn from it? Just from those 2 examples that I talked about, we can safely say the lessons and values within those books are very important and very useful to our lives. We have to work hard to never give up on things that we want in life, just like Harry. You failed a test? That's okay. You can learn harder. You can take the remedial test. You burned your food that you cooked. That's also okay. You can put the burned food in the trash, go back to the kitchen, and make another batch. Learning and failures is part of our learning journey. It's normal. Just take a deep breath and try again. And the values contained in Pride and Prejudice are still relevant to us today, even when the book itself was written centuries ago, which also proves that writings, values, and books are timeless. Values and lessons learned from novels can guide us through our life in society, how we behave, how we treat people. We can educate ourselves and bring awareness to topics and issues, and through novels, they're camouflaged through characters, storylines, plots, conflict, drama, to make it fun, easy to digest, and engaging for us to read. But obviously, nothing good can come out when you consume too much of a certain thing. Despite how much we can learn from novels, we still need to read our textbooks. It's still important, especially acknowledging that we're still students studying in high schools. We want to continue our educations to a good college, to a good university, and to do so, we need to study, do well on our tests. This is why scientists suggest the 70-30 reading ratio for textbooks and novels to help us maximize our growth, both personally and professionally. Lastly, I would like to conclude my speech with another quote by the amazing author George R.R. Martin. "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he die, while the man who never reads only live one." So, keep on reading. Thank you so much for listening and giving me your attention. Have a great day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Aska, thank you for your presentation. And I really love your pronunciation and your intonation. It was clear. And the topic, it was really simple, but you're brilliant. You what is it? You get the audience enthusiasm, and then you gather your opinion, and in fact also you put your own experience, and that's very good. Your body language is good, and you're on stage. I think that's all. You did a great job today. Thank you, Aska.
Okay, for me, I think continuing from Miss Denita, I could tell how much you like to read. And I like how you put stress on a certain words that you want to emphasize. And what else? There aren't much actually to comment from your performance. Just keep up the good work and keep being awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bukan, Sharon.
Let's proceed with our fourth contestant. I would like to call upon Sharon Sabiani from science class with her speech entitled Education During the Pandemic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Sharon Sabiani Ritia from the class of Tan 1. I'm going to deliver a speech about education during the pandemic. Everybody agrees that education is important. However, during the pandemic, getting education is challenging. Back in March 2020, the government announced that all school activities had to be stopped due to the spread of COVID-19. When that happened, all of the school activities had to be done from home. Do you remember how chaotic it was? It was all normal, and then suddenly all schools were closed and we were not allowed to go outside. One of the biggest problems was that teachers were not used to teach with digital device. It took a while until school can manage online learning. Students were not allowed to see their friends and can only interact through the internet. The situation was something that we have never imagined before. It was very uncomfortable for everyone. During 2 years, a lot of people have suffered, lost their families, their jobs. Many companies were closed. The economy situation was so difficult that the government organized social help programs. But on the other side, people have started to adapt with the situation. Due to limited opportunities to interact among people directly, we have become familiar with online school, online meetings, online shopping, and etc. Although online school is considered not effective enough for students to absorb knowledge from the teachers, there are still a lot of things we can cherish. This country is 10 years ahead in using technology. Learning through online has now become something usual for not only students, but also people at the office, community, etc. Online meetings have also become an alternative of communication. A lesson we can learn from this is that human can adapt. However worse the situation is, we can always find a way to make it all better. The pandemic even created newly developed companies and more creative ways to deliver products to customers. We're stronger than we think we are. The pandemic, although has given us a very tough times, but it also has given us a new perspective to live a better life. Online school may not be considered fully effective, but surely it has given us an experience of a new way to get education. That's all from my speech today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Sharon, thank you so much. I could tell that you're very nervous. Stage fright is a very common thing, but you're still young. You still have a lot to learn, and a lot of more. Opportunity in the future. So I'm sure you will be able to overcome that. And one thing I would like to comment on is maybe the body language, because your topic is very interesting. So maybe try to move around a little so that we could understand what you are trying to say better and engage better in what you're trying to say. And yeah, that's all from me. But very good job today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Sharon. Continuing from Miss Farah, your body language, you have to consider your body language. And then, I think I noticed you're trembling because you're nervous. And also, your topic is clear. I can get your point, but focus on your education topic. Yeah, so don't put, what is it, the broad topic, then education like office, and then shopping and kind of that. Thank you, Sharon. You did a great job today.
Thank you, Sharon, for the amazing performance. Next, please come to the stage Hanif Zaimar from Entrepreneur Class, who will be delivering his speech entitled, How is Education Important for Your Future?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us praise to Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which has given us mercy, blessings, healthy, and also imans. May peace always be with the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, which has guided us from the dark age to the bright age. I also would like to thank you so much for your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in this modern era, a world where the development of science and technology is growing rapidly, including education and knowledge. Because of technology, we have internet. This internet make a convenience to our life. Because of internet, we can study everywhere, anytime. Surely, education and knowledge is important for our future. Especially in this modern world, they are the most needed. Without knowledge, we will have a difficulty facing this world. Why? Because knowledge is a key. If we have a knowledge, it is easier for us to face this world. But have you wondered, where does the convenience come from? Is it come by itself? The answer is knowledge. In the past, the inventors, researchers, they developed science. They didn't find it by any chance. No, it's not an accident. They had a research and they prove it whether this is right or this is wrong. Inventor, scientists, researchers, they have a high curiosity. If they had a questions, they will try to find it until eventually they find it. Humans are a curious creature. It is the curiosity of human being that leads to the future, expose the future. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a very beautiful story. The story of a man in the past. They invent some big thing that really changed the world. This the revolution of industrial. We know it is James Watt. In the past, James Watt was very weak. He cannot study because he always sick. He cannot study. But he didn't give up. Because of his curiosity. Because he want to know about this world. He want to try. Even the obstacle is in front of him. He once fell. He once fell. But he didn't give up. He didn't give up. He rise. He fight the obstacle. He fight whatever obstacle in front of him. He walk inside of it. He don't care. And eventually, in the end, he made it. His invention, the steam engines, changed the world. The technology rise from there. It's the story from James Watt. Ladies and gentlemen, learn from James Watt. He once fell, but he has a dream. He has a dream. He has a high hopes. He didn't give up until it was success. And we has to become like him. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, knowledge and education is very important for our future. Because without knowledge and education, we cannot face this world. This world, this modern era is very strict. And knowledge is the key. Because of the internet, because of the technology, we have the convenience. But the convenience is a poison to us. Wait, how is it a poison to us? Because of the convenience, we become lazy. Well, we know that it is very easy for us to gather information, knowledge from the internet. So why do we have to put an effort more in it? Right? No! That's mistaken! That's the poison. We have to use this opportunity, this convenience. We have to use it as an opportunity. Many people out there, they fail. They miss this opportunity. Because of that, they become undeveloped. They become stuck. They miserable. They are a disgrace. They are lost. So, friends, teachers, and others, viewers, don't waste your time. Don't waste your opportunity. Many people, they regret their lives. There are no second chance. There are no second chance. Remember, knowledge is the key. Education is for your future. And your future is in your hands. I think that's all about my speech. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Hanif, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
You're total. And you're so confident. Your body language is really good. Your intonation and then your face. You confidently support what you're saying and you're really enthusiasm. And this is the first thing that I get when you enter when you start your speech. Your high voice is the best, is the best opening for the audience because
Thank you
it
so much.
wake the audience. And your topic is really good. That's clear. I can get your point about the education. And I think that's all. Maybe you have to be pay attention with your transition word. And okay, that's all. Thank you, honey.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Hanif, I could really sense your enthusiasm for this speech. That was very eye-opening, and you're the very first candidate that did not bring your text with you, so that's a really, good thing to consider. And then maybe just a little bit notes is maybe you could put a little bit of credible sources, cite more credible sources, because your topic is very interesting. You talk about a lot of scientists, inventors, so maybe it could be more, could be more supported with facts, more like that. And then a little mispronunciation here and there, but no biggies, that's not a problem. You literally shake the stage today. I think you shocked everyone in the studio today, and I like how you put acting in your speech. I feel like I don't see that a lot in a student for performance. So kudos to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, Hanif, for the explosive performance. Now, we are on to our final contestant for our speech competition today. Let us welcome Cyril El-Ghifari from science class with his speech entitled Education.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I hope that we are all in a good health. My name is Cyril El-Ghifari, and today I will convey the importance of education in my short speech. The first thing that will come to our mind when we heard about education is school, studying, and etc. But you know what? Education is way more than that. According to studylecturesnotes.com, education is a process in which and by which the knowledge, characters, and behavior of the human being are being shaped and molded. Some of us may think it's a boring, monotonous, and unattractive thing to do. But how important education is? Yet education is very important for all of us. Can you imagine how we live, how we understand something that we have yet seen before without education? Let me give you an example. A 1-year-old boy, he can't do math properly. He can talk in English fluently, and he can't even walk on foot properly. So how can he do all of those things? The solution is education. But education is just not a matter of learning math. It's how we learn new things and applies the thing that we have just learned. It's the way we know how a problem can be solved. Now the main thing is we have a big problem with education. Based on globalcitizen.org, in Malawi, for example, there are an average of 130 children per classroom in first grade. It's not just a lack of classroom, but also the basic facilities that you would expect for a school to have, like running water and toilets. A lack of human resources is also a big problem, because how good the human resources depends on how good the education quality is. So how do we fix those problems? There are some points that we could do to fix those problems. The first one is to reduce the number of students in the classroom. Only a smaller class can enable an active role for the student to improve the level of individual attention they get from the teacher. Now, we don't have to see studying as opposed to entertainment. However, we have to make the students aware. Another thing that aware of the purpose technology and games in the classroom. It's all about learning. Another thing that we can do is stop expecting parents to act like teachers at home. The parents should definitely support their child throughout the schooling process. However, we must not turn this into a mandatory role. The teacher should stop assigning homework that demands parental assistance. Due to the fact that technology became part of the early education process, it's necessary for parents to observe the way their children use the internet at home. They have to help the students to complete assignments involving technology. We have to fix this. It's a global issue that we had for the past decades. Let's make our people feel what they deserve. I think that is all from me. I'm sorry if there was any mistake, and thank you for giving me your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Cyril, thank you so much. That was an amazing speech. Okay, first of all, your topic is pretty identical with Hanif's, right? But I like how you are choosing a different approach. And it got me worried at first, but after seeing you, I think you manage it well. And then maybe try to read less from your notes, yeah. I know you lack the time to prepare. So in the future, I really do hope that you could improve, because I know your potential. And I know you have it in you, so thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay, Cyril, continuing for Miss Farah. Your topic is credible, and you use the credible resources. And also, you missed some pronunciation, but I think that's okay, cause you a little bit nervous, and you okay, I can notice it, and you can move your body.
Okay.
And this one, you don't need to say sorry at your speech, at the end of your speech, because that's not necessary for that. Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay.
Thank you to all contestants for the amazing performance, and thank you judges for the feedback. The result of the speech contest will be announced at the end of this event.
Let's move on to the second competition of the day, the social media writing caption. The theme for this caption writing competition is consumerism and climate change. Participants are all students from 10 Science and 10 Entrepreneur class. There will be 3 finalists competing today. Captions must be the participants' original work and not previously published. Assessments by the jury panel are absolute and cannot be contested.
With that said, let's begin with the first contestant, Muhammad Fizi from Science class.
So yeah, today we are going to learn about exposition text. Mungkin belum diajarin kali ya di sana di kelas atau udah, nggak tahu pokoknya. Hari ini kita bahas exposition text. Nah, sebelum kita bahas what is an exposition text, kita mulai pelajaran hari ini dengan Bismillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Learned about mind mapping. Sudah pernah belajar mind mapping atau belum? Sudah pernah belajar?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the first meeting of writing. Jadi we're going to discuss about mind mapping.
That is completed. All right. So if you're not finished, it's okay. All right. So we have Dear Miss Black. Okay. Now a lot of people here when they refer to someone, like they say, Miss, my name is Rowena Wade. Okay.
Assalamualaikum, good morning everyone. My name is Fiziafian from X1 and today I want to present my answer about the caption. So the first question is, what do you think is happening in the picture? My answer is human that cut down trees to get money and does not consider the consequences of their action. Second, what is what will be the outcome of the action happening in the photo? My answer is causing natural disaster and creating global warming, then habitat loss and the entry of animals into human settlement. And the last one is, what do you think is the most important thing in writing a caption? In my opinion, the most important thing in writing a caption is 1. Using short but meaningful sentences. 2. Picking sentences and hashtags that are related or relevant to the content in the post. 3. Using words that catch the reader's attention. That's all from me, and I think this is enough. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, PZ, for the performance. Next, I would like to call upon the second contestant, Bunga Adiati from Entrepreneur class. To Bunga.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, my name is Bunga from X10 Entrepreneur class. So today I'm gonna do explanation about my social media caption. So the meaning of my social media caption is, many trees in the forest are sacrificed for many things. It would be better if they preserve it again, right? Otherwise, it would be a bad thing for all of us. Since they are also one of the main sources of our life, and we also live together on this earth, we must take care of all the things, all the living things in this earth. So, together, let's make the world a better place for you and for me. So, that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Bunga for the amazing performance. The final contestant is Radistri Arif from science class.
Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Radistri Arif Kurnia. I'm from class 1 and today I'm going to present to you my answer. The first question is, what do you think is happening in the picture? The answer is, this picture shows a man chopping down an alarming amount of tree using what seems to be a barcode. I think it's a commentary on how consumerism is fueling climate change. Tree log is used for a lot of different things, so there is a high demand for it. As a result, a lot of trees need to be chopped down, therefore fueling climate change. The second question is, what will be the outcome of the picture? I think the outcome of the picture is, if things continue like this, at some point, the Earth global average temperature will rise enough to make a lot of places uninhabitable for human and other animals to live in. For the final question is, what do you think is the most important thing when writing a caption? The most important thing when writing a caption is the message that you want to convey to your viewer. It is pointless when you have a beautifully written caption, but there is no meaning behind the words. That's it for my answer. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Radistri, for the amazing performance.
And with that, all contestants have presented their captions. Thank you to all the contestants and judges for judging this competition. Now, for the next segment, I would like to show you a little video, a little snippets for the English Development Program. But now, instead from the entrepreneur class, it's from the science class.
An event held by TED Foundation, and Madeline is representing
against bullying. Okay, so let's have a look at those questions. Does anybody know what TED Talk is? Has anybody ever heard of TED Talk? No, TED Talk. Yeah? Alright, okay. Alright, do we have any questions? No? Okay, thank you so much, guys. Everybody have to be nice to each other. Be a decent person. It's not hard. Raise each other up and don't raise each other down. Okay, see you again next time. Alright? And I guess that's all for me. Thank you. Attention getter. Introduction. And then on page 3.
Page. We are trained by media with images on Facebook, Instagram, TV, magazines.
You can see the body and a conclusion. Okay? So, I want you to find the answers, okay, or the supporting idea in her outline. And underline where you can find the answer to the true and false question. Okay? It's fairly easy. An event held by TED Foundation, and Madeline is representing her school in speaking against bullying. Okay, so let's have a look at those questions. Does anybody know what TED Talk is? Has anybody ever heard of TED Talk? No, TED Talk. Yeah?
Our next agenda is the Quick and Smart competition. We will be handing the floor to Miss Farah as the MC for this competition.
Welcome to the Quick and Smart competition. I am Farah Andina as the MC and quizmaster for today's competition. So there will be two teams competing today. On science side, we have Sharon, Fatia, and Firoz. And on entrepreneur side, we have Bunga, Hanif, and Hataya. Okay, so before we start, let me read the rules first. So pay attention to the rules, okay? So there will be two types of questions. For mandatory questions, if you answer correctly, you will be rewarded with 100 points. And if you answer incorrectly, there will be no points being deducted. But for limited questions, which each team has the same rights and principle on who gets it right first, you will be rewarded with 100 points and will be deducted 50 points if you answer incorrectly. Do not answer the question before I let you to answer, okay? So for the first session, I will be taking turns asking you the questions. First, let's start with science, and then the next questions with entrepreneur, and so on, okay? Okay, so for group science, how many years are there in a century? Okay.
100 years.
Correct. What is the capital city of Japan?
Tokyo.
Okay, if today is Friday, what day was the day before yesterday?
Wednesday.
That's correct. How do you spell this word? Library.
Library.
That's correct. What is the antonym of empty? Okay. What is the past form of the verb put? Put. Correct. What do you call your uncle's children? Cousin, that's correct. Change this into present continuous tense. Doctors treat patients.
Doctor is treating patients.
Unfortunately, that's incorrect. Doctors are treating patients. Next, facts or opinion. Your heart pumps blood through your body. Facts, that's correct. She was over the moon. What is the meaning of this phrase?
She was happy beyond beyond what can.
Okay, that's correct. She felt very happy. Now, for group B, how many years are there in a decade? I'll give you 3 seconds.
12 years.
That's incorrect. There are 10 years. The capital city of Singapore is?
Changi? No.
It's Singapore.
Singapore.
If today is Monday, what is the day after tomorrow?
The day after tomorrow?
Yes. If today is Monday, what is the day after tomorrow? Wednesday, correct. How do you spell this word? Diligent.
Diligent.
That is incorrect. There are 2 L's. What is the antonym of complicated?
Easy.
Easy, that's correct. What is the past form of the verb blow?
Blue.
That's correct. What do you call your sister's daughter?
Nephew.
That's incorrect. It's niece.
Niece ya, lupa.
Please change these into continuous tense. The boys play in the garden.
The boys are playing in the garden.
Okay. Facts or opinion? 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram.
Can I hear the question again?
Facts or opinion? 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram.
Facts.
That's correct. My sister is a couch potato. What is the meaning of this phrase?
My sister is lazy.
That is correct. So for the first round, so far, science team is leading. Okay, we are moving on to the limited questions. Each of you can answer at the same time, but don't answer the question before I let you to answer. Okay? Okay, so the first one. What is the largest... So we have arrived on the second phase of the Quick and Smart Challenge. And for the second phase is the limited question. Remember, if you answer correctly, you will get rewarded 100 points. But if you answer incorrectly, you will be deducted by 50 points. Okay, let's start. The first one is, what is the largest country in the world? Science first. 3 seconds. 1. That is correct. Who is the third president of Indonesia?
Baharudin Yusuf Habibie.
That's correct.
Okay.
The third question, what is the capital city of Italy?
Rome.
I did not let you
Oh,
to answer,
sorry.
so we will annul that.
Okay.
That will not
Sorry.
count. Okay.
That's fine.
Terlalu nafsu.
What is the largest continent in the world? Science.
I'm sorry. What?
Science.
Asia.
Asia, yes. The fifth question, which countries have the most Islamic population? Entrepreneur.
Indonesia.
That's correct. Number 6, what is the synonym of the word majestic? What is the synonym of the word majestic? Synonym.
Majestic itu luar biasa gitu kayak.
No? Okay, so we will pass this question. What is the antonym of the word sporadic?
So Sam.
Okay. Do you not want to answer the question? Okay, let's move on. What is the past form of the verb strike? The past form of the verb strike.
Apa? Past time ya? Bukan past time. Verb to. Strike.
I'll give 3 seconds. 1,
Aku tahu.
2,
Tapi enggak, aku takut salah.
3.
Intinya enggak usah.
Okay.
Kalau salah kita minus.
The Grand Canyon is vast and majestic canyon that has been carved out of the Colorado Plateau over millions of years. Is it fact or opinion? Entrepreneur.
Fact.
Fact, that is correct.
Tuh ya, aku.
Number 10. Photography is an important art form now that newspaper, web pages, and advertisements all rely on it to convey messages. Is it fact or opinion?
Opinion.
Opinion.
Okay.
Number 11. Choose the best connector to the sentence. Emily tried to read the book. She wasn't able to. Whereas, because, or though. Because that's incorrect. Find the adjective in this sentence. Betty sat on an ancient couch that had a strange smell. Strange? Okay, there are actually two. No. So because you guessed one correct, I will give you 50 points. There are ancient and strange. Okay, moving on. Okay, number 13. There are approximately 1,000 geysers on Earth. Over half of these are located in Yellowstone National Park in the U.S. Based on the sentence, approximately how many geysers can be found at the Yellowstone National Park? You want me to read it again?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, please.
pay attention.
Dengerin.
There are approximately 1,000 geysers on Earth. Over half of these are located at Yellowstone National Park in the U.S. Based on the sentence, approximately how many geysers can be found at Yellowstone National Park? Entrepreneur.
500.
500, that's correct.
Okay.
Number 14. How do you spell the word expanding? Science? That is correct. Number 15. The phrase, I would very much appreciate if you could provide me with the information in the formal email is written in the which part? In which part?
Oh, silakan.
The phrase, I would very much appreciate if you could provide me with the information, is written in which part?
Same. I forget.
Okay, I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we will pass that questions. Moving on to the 16th questions. The phrase yours faithfully in the formal email is written in which part? Yours faithfully.
Closing.
1, 2,
Closing.
3.
Ending.
Okay. It's on signing off part. Okay.
Signing off apa?
Moving on to number 17. Unscramble this sentence. Pay attention. I love absolutely it is Haagen-Dazs ice cream and rich so tasty.
I love absolutely.
One more time. I love absolutely it is Haagen-Dazs ice cream and rich so and tasty. Okay, science.
I also absolutely love Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It is so rich and tasty.
That is correct. Now,
Yeah, you go.
number 18. The test is a piece of cake. What does the phrase mean?
Nah, kalau cepet.
This one first?
The test was very
Very easy, that's correct. Moving on to the last 2 questions for this round. Number 19. Find the verb on this sentence. During the gym class, Ben hopped like a rabbit across the whole field.
Itu kata-kata.
Science?
You better.
Hopped. That. Hop,
Put your
that's
hand
correct. Now, the last question.
Okay.
Inside the hotel, we keep warm in the large jackets and special bedding. What is the meaning of this sentence? Inside the hotel, we keep warm in the large jackets and special bedding. What is the meaning of this sentence? What does this sentence tell us about the hotel? One more time. Inside the hotel, we keep warm in the large jackets and special bedding. What does this phrase tell you about the hotel?
Comfy bukan.
Yeah, I think about that too. Comfy.
Aku nggak ada nulis.
Okay. I'll give it 3 seconds.
No, udah.
1,
Kita udah terlebih salah soalnya.
2,
Jangan nambah salah.
3. Okay, it means that it is cold inside the hotel.
Not
Cold,
comfy. Oh my.
Okay,
Itu aja nggak
so
jawab.
good job for both teams. The result of this quiz will be announced later at the end of the event. And with that question, that marks the end of the Quick and Smart competition. Good job for both of you. You should be really proud of yourself for representing your class. And good job today, so thank you.
Thank you.
Sudirman, Kota Bekasi.
SMA Islam PB Sudirman, Kota Bekasi sebagai sekolah Islam unggulan berwawasan global bernaung di bawah Yayasan Masjid Panglima Besar Sudirman yang berdiri sejak tahun 1966. Selama kurun waktu 54 tahun, telah banyak berkiprah dalam penyelenggaraan pendidikan, sosial, dan dakwah. Kini kami mengelola lembaga pendidikan dari TK hingga perguruan tinggi berkualitas yang berstandar nasional, bahkan berstandar internasional. Semua sekolah di bawah Yayasan Masjid PB Sudirman bersertifikat ISO 9001-2015 dan akreditasi A dari BANSM. Selama kurun waktu 54 tahun, telah banyak berkiprah dalam penyelenggaraan. SMA Islam PB Sudirman, Kota Bekasi sebagai sekolah Islam unggulan berwawasan global bernaung di bawah Yayasan Masjid Panglima Besar Sudirman yang berdiri sejak tahun 1966. Selama kurun waktu 54 tahun, telah banyak berkiprah dalam penyelenggaraan pendidikan, sosial, dan dakwah. Kini kami mengelola lembaga pendidikan dari TK hingga perguruan tinggi berkualitas yang berstandar nasional, bahkan berstandar internasional. Semua sekolah di bawah Yayasan Masjid PB Sudirman bersertifikat ISO 9001-2015 dan akreditasi A dari BANSM. Selama kurun waktu 54 tahun, telah banyak berkiprah dalam penyelenggaraan pendidikan, sosial, dan dakwah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khatamil anbiya wal mursalin nabiyya maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Amma ba'du. Kepada segenap stakeholder yang saya hormati, alhamdulillah kita dapat bertemu, berjumpa di SMA Islam Sudirman, sekolah Islam unggul, berkarakter nasional dan berwawasan lingkungan global. Pada kesempatan yang sangat baik, kenapa visi kami adalah sekolah Islam unggul? Karena memang kita akan mengarah untuk menjadi satu-satunya sekolah unggul di lingkungan Bekasi ini, ya baik unggul dalam pelayanan, unggul dalam prestasi, dan unggul dalam akhlak atau outputnya dengan akhlak yang baik. Kenapa kita berkarakter nasional? Karena memang kita membangun anak-anak ini, walaupun anak-anak ini nanti wawasannya sudah berwawasan internasional, namun dia memiliki karakter nasional, yaitu apa yang kita kembangkan di sekolah ini, bahwa sekolah kita ini adalah akan mengembangkan 3 ranah, IQ, EQ, dan SQ. Jadi IQ, kecerdasan emosi, dan juga kecerdasan spiritual. Maka dari itu kita akan mengarahkan kepada anak-anak kita ini memiliki akidah yang lurus, akhlaknya yang mulia, akalnya yang cerdas, amalnya yang soleh. Ini yang akan kita angkat, sehingga output dari sekolah ini nanti mampu menjadi pemimpin-pemimpin yang berakhlak mulia. Dan juga dalam rangka manajemen yang kami bangun di sekolah kita ini adalah kami menggunakan dengan 4K, yaitu yang pertama adalah komunikasi, yang kedua adalah koordinasi, dan yang ketiga adalah kolaborasi dan yang keempat adalah kontrol. Maka dalam 4K inilah kami membangun kebersamaan sekolah ini akan menuju kepada visi yang nanti akan menjadi tolok ukur dari keberhasilan kita. Oleh karena itu, kepada stakeholder, insya Allah kami akan memberikan pelayanan prima untuk guru, murid, orang tua dalam rangka mengembangkan sekolah ini menjadi sekolah unggul di lingkungan Bekasi, lingkungan nasional maupun lingkungan internasional. Demikian, terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Awal memasuki lingkungan sekolah, siswa-siswi dibiasakan untuk membudayakan sunnah Rasul, yaitu senyum, salam, sapa, dan santun atau biasa disebut 4S. Kegiatan rutin setiap pagi sebelum pembelajaran adalah tadarus Al-Quran bersama-sama, merupakan bentuk implementasi peningkatan iman dan ketakwaan kepada Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Saat ini, SMA Islam PB Sudirman menggunakan kurikulum K13 dengan layanan SKS dan mengacu kepada pendidikan abad 21. Sehingga pendidikan di SMA Islam PB Sudirman Bekasi mengacu kepada 4 pilar pendidikan UNESCO untuk menyongsong abad 21, yaitu learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. Sehingga pembelajaran di SMA Islam PB Sudirman diarahkan kepada penguatan pendidikan berkarakter, literasi, dan pencapaian keterampilan abad 21. Dan untuk mewujudkan semua itu, kurikulum SMA Islam PB Sudirman Bekasi memiliki beberapa kelas layanan, diantaranya adalah Smart Class. Melalui layanan SKS bisa lulus dalam 2 tahun. Science Class with Basic Information and Communication Technology. Entrepreneur Class with Basic Entrepreneurship and Communication. Kelas MIPA reguler dan IPS reguler. Untuk menciptakan kegiatan belajar mengajar yang nyaman, SMA Islam PB Sudirman Bekasi menyediakan fasilitas yang membadai. Di antaranya, gedung sekolah yang representatif dengan lokasi yang strategis, serta lingkungan yang kondusif untuk kegiatan belajar mengajar. Ruang kelas yang nyaman, laboratorium biologi, laboratorium fisika, laboratorium kimia, laboratorium bahasa, laboratorium komputer, lapangan olahraga, hotspot area atau internet, dan masjid yang megah sebagai pusat kegiatan keagamaan seperti sholat berjamaah, pengajian dan rohis sebagai upaya membentuk generasi muda yang Islam dan berakhlak mulia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Muhammad Fahri Akbar sebagai Ketua OSIS periode 2020-2021. Selain aktivitas belajar mengajar, SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi juga mengajarkan siswanya di bidang non-akademis dan juga mendukung secara langsung agar siswanya bisa menjadi lebih kreatif di bidang non-akademis. SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi juga mendukung siswanya dalam organisasi di dalam sekolah. Di antaranya organisasi siswa intrasekolah atau bisa juga disebut OSIS. Dan juga selain OSIS, SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi juga menyediakan organisasi seperti Majelis Perwakilan Kelas, dan juga ada program keputrian, dan juga ada 18 eskul diantaranya seperti futsal, basket, jurnalistik, saman, paduan suara, dan juga masih banyak lagi. Ada banyak sekali eskul di SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi, diantaranya yaitu seperti futsal, basket, jurnalistik, English Circle, robotik, dan juga masih ada taekwondo, dan juga saman, paduan suara, dan masih banyak lagi seperti eskul-eskul baru yang baru diluncurkan tahun ini, yaitu sinematografi, dan insya Allah kita akan mengembangkan eskul ini lebih dalam lagi. Untuk membantu para siswa-siswinya agar bisa menjadi pribadi yang jauh lebih baik lagi dan juga bisa berkarakter lebih dalam, SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi menyediakan aktivitas atau kegiatan yang di luar sekolah seperti ada tahfiz dan juga seperti ada LDKS, dan juga jika kalian masuk OSIS akan ada kegiatan seperti LDKO, dan juga akan bisa mengasah kemampuan kalian lebih dalam lagi agar kalian mempunyai karakter yang kuat dalam hard skill dan juga soft skill kalian. Dan juga dari semua kegiatan atau aktivitas yang sudah saya sebutkan tadi, itu artinya SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi telah mengedepankan para siswa dan siswinya agar bisa mengedepankan bakat, minat siswa-siswi, dan juga agar bisa menjadi pribadi yang lebih religius dan berkualitas di dalam dan di luar sekolah. Ayo bergabung bersama kami di SMA Islam Panglima Besar Sudirman Kota Bekasi. Selamat datang di SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi.
SMA Islam PB Sudirman Kota Bekasi sebagai sekolah Islam unggulan berwawasan global bernaung di bawah Yayasan Masjid Panglima Besar Sudirman yang berdiri sejak tahun 1966. Selama kurun waktu 54 tahun telah banyak berkiprah dalam penyelenggaraan pendidikan, sosial, dan dakwah. Kini kami mengelola lembaga pendidikan dari TK hingga perguruan tinggi berkualitas yang berstandar nasional, bahkan berstandar internasional. Semua sekolah di bawah Yayasan Masjid PB Sudirman bersertifikat ISO 9001-2015 dan akreditasi A dari BANSM. Selama kurun waktu 54 tahun, telah banyak berkiprah dalam penyelenggaraan pendidikan, sosial, dan dakwah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khatamil anbiya wal mursalin, nabiyya maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Amma ba'du. Kepada segenap stakeholder yang saya hormati, alhamdulillah kita dapat berjumpa di SMA Islam Sudirman, sekolah Islam unggul berkarakter nasional dan berwawasan lingkungan global. Pada kesempatan yang sangat baik, kenapa visi kami adalah sekolah Islam unggul? Karena memang kita akan mengarah untuk menjadi satu-satunya sekolah unggul di lingkungan Bekasi ini, ya baik unggul dalam pelayanan, unggul dalam prestasi, dan unggul dalam akhlak atau outputnya dengan akhlak yang baik. Kenapa kita berkarakter nasional? Karena memang kita membangun anak-anak ini, walaupun anak-anak ini nanti wawasannya sudah berwawasan internasional, namun dia memiliki karakter nasional. Yaitu apa yang kita kembangkan di sekolah ini, bahwa sekolah kita ini adalah akan mengembangkan 3 ranah: IQ, EQ, dan SQ. Jadi IQ, kecerdasan emosi, dan juga kecerdasan spiritual. Maka dari itu kita akan mengarahkan kepada anak-anak kita ini memiliki akidah yang lurus, akhlaknya yang mulia, akalnya yang cerdas, amalnya yang soleh. Ini yang akan kita angkat, sehingga output dari sekolah ini nanti mampu menjadi pemimpin-pemimpin yang berakhlak mulia. Dan juga dalam rangka manajemen yang kami bangun di sekolah kita ini adalah kami menggunakan dengan 4K, yaitu yang pertama adalah komunikasi, yang kedua adalah koordinasi, dan yang ketiga adalah kolaborasi, dan yang keempat adalah kontrol. Maka dalam 4K inilah kami membangun kebersamaan sekolah ini akan menuju kepada visi yang nanti akan menjadi tolok ukur dari keberhasilan kita. Oleh karena itu, kepada stakeholder, insya Allah kami akan memberikan pelayanan prima untuk guru, murid, orang tua dalam rangka mengembangkan sekolah ini menjadi sekolah unggul di lingkungan Bekasi, lingkungan nasional maupun lingkungan internasional. Demikian, terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Awal
berselimut debu sekujur tubuhku, panas dan menyengat, rebah dan berkarat, yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti, yang hancur lebur akan terobati, yang sia-sia akan jadi makna yang terus berulang. Suatu saat henti, yang pernah jatuh kan berdiri lagi, yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti. Berselimut debu sekujur tubuhku, panas dan menyengat, rebah dan berkarat, yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti, yang hancur lebur akan terobati, yang sia-sia akan jadi makna yang terus berulang. Suatu saat henti, yang pernah jatuh tak berdiri lagi, yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti. Yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti, yang hancur lebur akan terobati, yang sia-sia akan jadi makna yang terus berulang. Yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti, yang hancur lebur akan terobati, yang sia-sia akan jadi makna yang terus berulang. Yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti, yang hancur lebur akan terobati, yang sia-sia akan jadi makna yang terus berulang. Suatu saat henti, yang pernah jatuh kan berdiri lagi, yang patah tumbuh, yang hilang berganti.
Syukurku baru pasrah ku panjatkan, doa baru ku haturkan hanya kepadamu Tuhan. Ya Ilahi Rabbi, tuntun dan bimbinglah kami agar dapat menikmati indah alam ini. Syukurku baru pasrah ku panjatkan, doa penuh ku haturkan hanya kepadamu Tuhan. Ya Ilahi Rabbi, tuntun dan bimbinglah kami agar dapat menikmati indah alam ini.
fact that he didn't bring
Sadly,
the script.
we have arrived to the final agenda of this competition.
It was a close.
We will now announce the winner of this competition.
And I know how
The
many
prize
points.
will be presented by Mr. Muhroni as the Vice Principal of Curriculum at Panglima Besar Sudirman, Bekasi. The first one is from speech contest. The third place, we have Fatia Nayara from science class. On the second place, we have Aska Sabita from science class. And the winner of speech contest of English competition is Hanif Zaimar Rahman from entrepreneur class. Now, please welcome Mr. Muhroni as the Principal of Curriculum at Panglima Besar Sudirman.
will be announcing the winner for the social media caption writing competition. But before that, I will be telling you the finalists. Fizi Hafian from Science class and Bunga Adiati from Entrepreneur class. And the winner for the social media caption writing competition is Radishtri Arif Kurnia from Science class. The prize for the social media caption writing competition will be presented by the principal of Panglima Besar Sudirman High School, Mr. Agus Rianta.
Finally, I will announce the winner of Quick and Smart competition. The second winner is entrepreneur class.
The prize for the second winner of our Quick and Smart competition will be presented by Mr. Agus Rianta as the principal of Panglima Besar Sudirman High School. And now, it's time for me to finally announce the winner for the Quick and Smart competition. The winner of the Quick and Smart competition is from Science Class!
The prize will be presented by the Principal of Panglima Besar Sudirman, Mr. Agus Rianta.
And with that, we conclude the prize giving session for our event today. I would like to say congratulations to all the winners. We would also like to thank the Principal of Panglima Besar Sudirman Kota Bekasi, Mr. Agus Rianta, and the Vice Principal of Curriculum, Mr. Muhroni. A very special thank you we also would like to say to the judges, participants, and audience who have joined us today in this event, the English Competition 2022.
Raise your voice, feel the English. We hope you gained some new experience today. We do apologize for any inconvenience and we will continue to improve to give you a better experience. Thank you for joining us today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.